Hello, welcome to today's vlog. My name is Adam, and if you're coming in for the first time, I'm doing this every day. Do a vlog for a whole year, see the changes. Subscribe to my channel and like the video, and if you make that bell ring, you'll get notified of when I go live and we can have a chat. And today's video, first off, I'm going to be shaving off my beard because tomorrow and Saturday I'm playing the conductor from the Polar Express. So I've got to have just a big thick mustache. So, take all that off. But we're also going to be chatting Star Wars. We've been chatting Star Wars for the past few days, and we're doing it every day leading up to the release of The Rise of the Skywalker. And we've hit upon a few good topics, I feel, through the lead up to this. Let me start here. I better do it in the video thing. And yeah, so I feel like we've hit a few good topics, but like I'm sure there's a lot of people who haven't even seen Star Wars yet, who don't even really care for it. So why is Star Wars good? Like what is it about Star Wars that is so enjoyable, I mean, for me, there's many reasons. Mostly really to do with my father, I think. My dad died when I was 4. So I grew up without a dad kind of thing. I mean, I had a stepdad in America, but it wasn't exactly a role model. He turned out to be turned out to be a drunk, to be honest, an alcoholic. So although he was the only father figure I knew, it didn't teach me much. He taught me how to put things together. That's what he taught me. But other than that, taught me how to treat people as well through his actions. Oh, there goes the skin. Got that. You know what? This ain't gonna work out like this. Let me take you and bring you down here. I think it's gonna work out a bit better if it's like that. And I go on my knees, begin praying. There we go. Now the mirror is all cloudy. What is this? Toothpaste on the mirror? Weird. So yeah. So for me, like, what is about Star Wars that's so enjoyable? Well, for me, it's like apart from the obvious, like the special effects are pretty cool. In the original trilogy, they were groundbreaking for the time. And then of course with the original trilogy, and the prequel trilogy they were the first forerunners for the digital the digital realm, the way the films were put together using the digital techniques. They were kind of like the first ones to do that, So for me, Star Wars is always about breaking new ground. Now I don't know what the latest trilogy is sort of all about. I think that's literally just Disney, you know what I mean, making some money off their purchase. But it is nice to see Star Wars back in the cinema. It's nice to see new Star Wars content, new films. It really is. Right, I think we're about ready here. But another thing that I find absolutely, like another reason why I like Star Wars, is the music, For me, the music is 50% of the film experience, and John Williams nailed it, you know what I mean, with the music. The Star Wars introduction music, da, 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 that honestly is so recognizable. I mean, it appears at the beginning of every Star Wars film, but it's undeniably recognizable, and it's like the music is just so good. So good. Right, what we got here? We got some gel. I haven't used this stuff in ages, as you can see. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm down in the bathroom, so I don't know how well this video is going because I mean, I'm not even going off the router, just in case. So, I'm going off the data. So we'll see. So if it cuts out or it starts glitching, you know why. Right. Man, I'm gonna start looking like Freddie Mercury in a minute. Right. So my first experiences of Star Wars, I remember watching Return of the Jedi on the TV in America when I was quite young. That's my first memories of Star Wars. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's getting slippy now. That's my first memories, you know? Right, here we go. Let's begin. This razor, I think, might be blunt, to be honest. I haven't used this razor in such a long time. Might even be blunt. So Return of the Jedi always holds that special place in my heart because it's my first experience of Star Wars, you know? And then, of course, I saw the special edition version in the cinema. So, for me, I really have a love for that film, even though a lot of people seem to not like it for some reason out of the original trilogy. But for me, it's like adventure, action, you know. And I don't think the Ewoks are annoying, you know. Even the special editions, I don't mind the special editions. I mean, I grew up, I was young when they came out, so I grew up with them. So I don't mind the special editions. I don't mind the inclusion of the CGI stuff. Because for me, Star Wars is not about not using CGI, you know? It's about showing you cool, fun imagery, you know? And that's it, full stop, you know? So if it takes a CG to do that, that's fine by me. You know, as long as it doesn't like rely on it, or as long as it's not, as long as it's realistic. I think that's the thing. As long as it's realistic. Man, this razor's blunt. So, yeah. Right, here we go. Man, this razor is so blunt. I think I've got another razor actually. Hang on. I'll use the girlfriend. Use this one. This will be a bit better. There we go. Now we're cooking. Man, there's hair everywhere here. Hair everywhere. It's just not coming off. My hair does not want to be removed. It's like, you will not take us alive. Get out, man. Get off. Seriously, guys, that's it, man. The goatee, don't want to know. Hang on, let's do a bit more clipping, I think. This is where I cut my face on camera. Alright, let's try that. Man, what a mess. This is a mess. This is like Last Jedi, this is. Yeah, so when the prequels then came out, like, I thought, yeah, they're fine, they're fun, you know. Not as exciting in some places as the original trilogy was overall, you know. But that's probably because I hadn't seen it enough times, you know. It's like the characters, I never really, you know, you never really got connected with the characters, you know. They weren't like memorable enough. Except for the ones that actually like stayed with you, like Obi-Wan and Anakin. Right, I think we're getting there. Man, it's just not happening, is it? Definitely need a new razor head. Oh, dude, I almost dropped you in the sink, man. Oh, this is getting dangerous. This is, my phone is just wet. It's a good thing it's waterproof, but it's not gonna hold now, I feel. Oh, dude, right. Do you know what? You're gonna have to go up on the high ground. You're gonna have to take the high ground, I'm afraid, mate. Yeah. So yeah, so the prequels, like, yeah, I do like the prequels. I really have no hate for them because they were made by George Lucas, written by George Lucas, which maybe is something that could have been different. You know, if he'd come up with a story and then gotten someone else to do the actual screenplay, we probably wouldn't have had the sand goes through everywhere scene. We wouldn't have the awkward love relationship that suddenly happens forcefully between Padme and Anakin. You know, it's like it probably would have happened a little bit more natural, you know, and gradual, had somebody else penned the actual script. But I completely understand George wanting to write it all because he probably felt like, I mean, I know during Phantom Menace, he had actually asked people to direct that film because he didn't want to direct it. He wanted to do what he did on Jedi and continue that trend. So he asked loads of people, including Steven Spielberg, but they were all like, you know what, bud, this is your baby. This is your thing. You need to helm it, you know? And they probably really didn't want to direct a science fiction, you know, Star Wars film, because it's like once you do, you're then tied, or you're sort of just known as that type of director, you know? And you kind of then have an expectation to deliver that type of film. And, you know, like, I think Steven Spielberg would have been an awesome director for Star Wars, because, like, watching Ready Player One, you know, it's like we know he can do science fiction, Close Encounters, you know? E.T. has a lot of heart. Imagine if he'd have directed like Revenge of the Sith, and I know he did direct parts of Revenge of the Sith. He did the fight scene between Obi and Anakin. But imagine if he'd done the whole film. Probably would have had a slightly better result. George focusing on one aspect, you know, and then like having other directors do it. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're getting there. Probably gonna have to do a cleanup tomorrow. Bit of a handlebar here, isn't it? What's that all about? The thing is, I've got to cut it just right here because it's got to be a straight across mustache. So I mean, I've almost got to shape it as I'm trimming it. Hello, my name is Mario, and welcome to my world. God, we're surrounded by hair here, seriously. Right. I think I can get rid of the first, get rid of all this hair on my face. Let's have a look at it. Man, the sink's just bloody, look at all that hair. Tell you, hair makes a really good plug for a sink. Prevents the water from going down. Alright, we'll do a clean up in a bit. Use this for now. Needs replacing. Right. Yeah, I think tomorrow I'll do a clean up. That's good enough for today. And then tomorrow we'll tidy it up a little bit more. So there we go. Welcome to the Polar Express. Put on the old moisturizers. Lather it up. So yeah. That's the first one. And the second one. Oh yeah. Man. Look like Joey Tribbiani's dad here from the 80s. Hey, forget about it. There we go. The first wave. So So yeah. So why is Star Wars so good? Well, let's go in the other room and I'll tell you all about it. And I'll come back and clean this bit up in a second. Why is Star Wars so good? Well, for me, I have to stay in the bathroom because we lost connection when we went in there. Cool. The music is sublime and it's an interesting opportunity for storytelling, you know? And the stories we've had with the original Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, the characters within them and the way they connected was interesting, you know? With the prequel trilogy, I think it was more, they were able to do more cool stuff on screen, multiple ships, because we're in the world of digital and it takes no effort at all, as opposed to like the model making and everything of the original stuff. Although there was model making in the prequel trilogy, but they were able to just do more and they were learning the tools, you know? And now with these three films, it's like they kind of refined. They're kind of the best versions, really, which means now they can concentrate back on the story and telling us a really good, you know, story mixed up with some cool, you know, imagery. So why is Star Wars so good for me though? The main reason is because George Lucas swept a story surrounding mythology, you know, and tropes such as the relationship between a father and a son, a mother and a daughter, families, friends. He basically created like this global message within a story because it was pulled from mythology and religions from all around the world. And so somebody somewhere could identify with at least one element of Star Wars, which was made up of hundreds of elements at the time. You could identify with one and go, I like that. That's why I'm watching this film. For me, it was always the relationship between Luke and in the, like, when I first watched Return of the Jedi, the redemption between him and his father. You know, he saved his father, and his father going, Luke, you're good. You know, you're a good egg. You're a good kid, and then him burning his ass. But it's like Luke saved him, you know, and then you learn and you see the journey of Anakin and the struggle with Luke, and it just, for me, that's really what hit home for Star Wars for me. I identified with that element of Star Wars, the father the son relationship. And I think Star Wars can mean anything for anybody. That's the real golden nugget of these films, is that because they touch upon so many different themes, you can always identify with something. And so that's why so many people do, you know? Plus, it's like a religion now, isn't it? So there we go. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching me shave my beard off. And tomorrow, with a cleaner looking face, we'll talk more Star Wars with the lead up to the Rise of the Skywalker, which for me, I think Rise of the Skywalker, in fact, I'll tell you tomorrow what I think of that title. All right, take care. Bye.